Hello everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. This is To Be Candid with me, your host Amber. I very nearly just said my whole name. That would have been weird. It's feeling very official for some reason. Today's podcast is really not a deep one, an official one, a deep meaningful chat, an advice column or anything like that. We're going to be having a bit of fun today. I really wanted to test out the enneagram test. I did it maybe a year ago, and for the life of me I cannot remember what I was, what number I was, what personality type I was. And I hear so many people talking about it, especially like on the What We Said podcast. They talk about it a lot, and I'm just really curious to know what I am. So I thought it would be fun to do it together, do the whole test, run through it together. I haven't done it like a test trial run or anything like that, so God knows if it's going to work. If I do this whole test and then it asks me for money to get my answer, I'm going to be very sad. But I think I found like a semi-trustworthy website, so we're going to try it out. I'm going to skip the life update for today just because, as always, London, lockdown, not a lot happening right now, and I feel like we're gonna really get to know each other going through this test, going through this journey. I'm literally going to go through each question one by one, and I've put it on my phone just so then I thought maybe there'd be less like noise interference than if I did it on my laptop. I don't know, that was my kind of thought behind it. But I guess for any of you who don't know the Enneagram test, I've googled what it is. The Enneagram is a system of personality typing that describes patterns in how people interpret the world and manage their emotions. And I know it's really fun to be able to know your own and know others and what that means, because then you can kind of figure out why they're reacting in certain situations the way they do, and how better to like treat and bond and everything with those kind of people. So I thought it'd be really fun, really interesting. So I think we'll just dive straight in. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good Tuesday if that's when you're listening to this, or whenever you're listening to this. If you want to go ahead and follow us on Instagram, you can. You can reach us at To Be Candid Podcast, where I post fun like behind the scenes, and you can be involved in future episodes, which I'm really excited about, to be honest. So let's go ahead and get started. I am on truity.com, that's Truity. Obviously not sponsored, it was just the first one that popped up when I googled it. So it says that over 1.5 million tests were taken in the last 30 days. Kind of intimidating. Let's just dive straight in. Start the test, please. Okay, so it has statements, and then you have to rate how inaccurate the statement is or how accurate it is, and it's a scale of 5. So the first statement, I guess, I strive for perfection. I think that's very accurate, to be honest. I work hard to be helpful to others. Accurate, but I think also sometimes I can be a little selfish, so maybe I'll go like a 4 out of 5. It really depends who the person is. I know that's really nasty, but sometimes I'm just like if it's a person that irritates me, I really can't be bothered to help them. Sorry, that's a bit savage, but we're being honest over here on this podcast, you know? I'm treating you guys like you're my best friend. We're sat in my bedroom together. We're on my bed doing the Enneagram test. It's a bit of fun. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt, and please try not to judge me too harshly. It's important to me that other people like me. Hugely accurate. My gosh, I used to be such a people pleaser. I think I've got better in the sense like I convince myself I don't care if people don't like me, which I think is partially true. Like the more I say it, the more I believe it. But I think deep down I'd still prefer if everyone liked me. I mean, wouldn't we all? It is important to me to achieve great things. So freaking accurate. I've got a whole podcast coming up about ambition and achievements, just because for me it is almost a toxic trait in some aspects, but we'll get into that in a later episode. But very, very accurate. I make more significant contributions than the average person. I don't think that's true. Like I said, I feel like I am a bit selfish in the way I kind of live my life. Like sometimes I do live it just for me. So I don't know what kind of huge contributions I would be adding. Huge contributions to myself, 100%, but to the world globally, probably not. I feel my emotions very deeply. I'm going to go with a 4. I do feel emotions. I'm quite an emotional person, but I'm lucky that I'm not like on the extreme of the spectrum. Like I've never really suffered from anxiety or depression. I mean, there was probably one stage of my life where arguably I was depressed, but Again, probably a conversation for another episode. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 4 out of 5 for that one. I have a sense that other people will never truly understand me. Oh, no, I'm going to go with a 2. I feel like I have a very good set of friends and family and my boyfriend and everything who understand me really well. I mean, I'm doing this podcast, I'm an open book. I tell people everything, and I think for the most part they get it. I think deeply about things. I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5. I definitely overthink certain things, but for some other things I just kind of jump in feet first. I don't really consider it too much. I am prepared for any disaster. Disagree. A 3, maybe a 3 out of 5. Like I said, I overthink things, but I don't necessarily act upon my overthinking, so it's not like I have a survivor kit tucked under my bed or supplies for an apocalypse or anything. Like, no, 3 out of 5, I would say. It is important to me to avoid pain and suffering at all times. Yeah, a 2 out of 5. I don't really understand that one. I don't want to be in pain and suffering, but I don't like intentionally avoid it. Like, if I get hurt, I get hurt, but for the most part I think I'm pretty good at surviving the day-to-day life. I seek out experiences that I know will make me feel happy or excited. Heck yes, accurate. I think more so this year than ever before, just because I feel like last year obviously was a bit of a flop and I didn't really prioritise like having fun and things, which I think was a real shame because obviously the lockdown and everything lasted as long as it did, and I really want to prioritise like having fun, being excited about things and like finding the joy in the everyday. So I'm going to put a 5 out of 5 for that one. I see the positive in every situation. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. I think I am definitely more of a positive person now than I used to be. I would usually used to say that I was a realist, but I think I'm slowly becoming an optimist. I think it's the whole mindset of like manifestation and things. I think a positive and optimistic mindset is kind of the best one to have. So yeah, 4 out of 5. I definitely have days where I kind of wallow in my negativity, but don't we all? So definitely not a 5 out of 5, but pretty close. Oh gosh, I am not afraid to tell someone when I think they are wrong. Yeah, 4 out of 5. I am quite a confrontational person. Don't know if you know that about me. Not in the sense that I go out seeking confrontation, but if someone does something that I don't agree with or is harming someone else or someone I care about or is just not, like, just being nasty, I have a very low tolerance for that. Like, life's too short to put up with those kind of people in my head. So if I think someone is doing something wrong, I will usually voice it, whether it's like directly to them or like I'll just make my opinion known. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. I'm sure some people would disagree with it or don't appreciate it when I do it, but I can live with myself better knowing like I stand up for the people I care about. So I let other people make the decisions. I'm going to go for a 3 out of 5. I used to be the most decisive person I knew. Like, in my friendship groups and everything, I was always the decision maker. And then as soon as I started dating my boyfriend Christian, like 5 years ago now, I just lost all sense of decision making. And I'm not sure if it was like this deep 1950s housewife within me that was like, oh no, the man should decide because ooh. But also I can't decide anymore. I need to like write a pros and cons list or get someone else to make the decision. Even if I had a friend round at secondary school or something and we were choosing a movie and they were like, oh, I don't mind, you choose. I would choose. Like, I wouldn't be like, no, come on, like, what do you want to watch? No, I just stick something on. And like, I'm sure people appreciated that because the whole back and forth of, oh, I don't mind, what do you want? Oh, I don't mind, what do you not? Like, that is tiring. Don't get me wrong. Like, even I get annoyed with it. And I do eventually make the decision most times with my friends because they're definitely more indecisive than I am. But I now do the back and forth of, oh no, come on, what do you want to watch? Ugh, I hate it. But 3 out of 5, unfortunately. Heading on to the next page. I appreciate having rules that people are expected to follow. Is it really bad that I think I'm a 4 out of 5 for that one? I love a set of rules. I just like to know what to expect and how to like tick all the boxes for whatever I'm supposed to be doing, so I think I'm a 4 out of 5. I'm concerned about security more than anything else. No, I'm going to go for a 2 out of 5. Security isn't something that I think about a lot. Like, there's quite a few times where I go to bed and I've like forgotten to lock a window or something, or yeah, no, security is not a big thing for me. I don't know if that's like quite a privileged aspect to have on life, or a naive aspect to have on life, but I'm sure I'll get better at it as I grow older. But for right now, I don't really spend too much time thinking about my security. I think a lot about what will happen in the future. Yes, I do. I might even be a 5 out of 5 for that one. I love a mood board. I love a future manifestation journal, whatever. I really like thinking about the future. I'm really trying to channel my energy to be more present, like be in the room and think about maybe just this week rather than the next 5 years. And more so now than ever, like my plan for the next like 5 years, 10 years of my life has changed drastically. But so I think that's just made me realise like it's almost wasted energy thinking for so long and putting so much energy into thinking about the future, because you really don't know what it's going to look like or what's going to happen in the meantime. So I'm trying to adjust that, but for now I don't think I'm there yet, so I'm still going to put a 5 out of 5. I don't fit in with ordinary people. I would say that's inaccurate. Like I said, I used to be quite a people pleaser, so I think I'm quite good at adjusting myself, or like what words I use, or my kind of body language and things to fit in with most groups of people. I don't know if that's like manipulative. It sounds really bad now I'm saying it out loud, but I just mean like I can get on with a lot of people, which I'm very fortunate for, or very grateful for. So I think I could get on with ordinary people, whatever ordinary is. There is rarely a good reason for changing how things are done. I'm going to put a 3 out of 5, because I do like a set of rules, so I would usually follow the protocol, but if I can find a better way to do it, I would probably do it that way. I always finish my chores. I'm going to put a 2 out of 5. I'm pretty good at getting my head straight and getting on with it, getting my head down and like getting it done, but washing up, I freaking hate doing the washing up. I will let it sit there for a month if I could. So mostly inaccurate, but I try. I am always trying to be a better person. Maybe a 4 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5. No, I'm going to go with a 4. There are a lot of things I do on my day-to-day that I don't necessarily do out of like automatically. It's things I like consciously think about, which I think will benefit me in my day or as a person or in the long run, like journaling or working out. Like they're things I consciously have to remind myself or prompt myself to do, but I know it's going to make me a better person, hopefully. So I guess I'm a 4 out of 5 for that one. I check carefully for mistakes and errors. I think I'm a 3 out of 5. I do like to double check things, but I'm not like is the word meticulous in searching through and like fine combing through everything. I like to be around people who I can help. 4 out of 5? I don't know. I like being around people. I like helping people. But does that mean like volunteering at a hospital and things? Like I like being around people I can help. Maybe I'm a 3 out of 5. I don't like seek out people that I can help, but if there's someone there that I can help, I'll help them. Does that make sense? See, I'm even overthinking this test now, I think. I like to feel that I am an important person in my social group. Oh my gosh, I think that's true. Is that really bad? I'm going to put a 4 out of 5. I used to. Last year, at the start of last year, or even the year before that, I met a lot of new people and I was part of like semi-part of some groups, and I wasn't too worried about being the most important person in them because I was new and like connections had already been established and I was just kind of having fun with it. But in my kind of long-term relationships, friendships, I would hope that I'm an important person in that social group. It is important to me to be successful. 5 out of 5, I think, guys, if I'm honest with you. Again, I'll talk about ambition and everything like that in a future episode, but it's just been programmed in me from a very young age to do the best I can, to get A's, to be successful, whatever that means. I'm kind of questioning what that means, especially recently. Again, I'll go further in depth with it, but I do want to be successful. So yeah, 5 out of 5, I would say. So organisations I belong to would not function well without me. I don't actually belong to any organisations, I think, so I'm going to put a 2 out of 5 because I think maybe if I did, I could be an important component, but right now, 2 out of 5. I often feel overtaken by my emotions. I'm going to put a 4 out of 5 actually. I know I said before that I didn't feel the extremes of emotion, which I still think is true, but sometimes I will snap at someone, or like mainly my boyfriend, and I realise I'm doing it and I can't really stop it because I'm so fired up inside. And I also sometimes feel overwhelmed, but that's more so by things like that I think I have to do rather than emotions. But although I often feel overtaken by my emotions. No, not off. Maybe I'm a 3 out of 5. I have always felt different from other people. No, I'd say that's a 1 out of 5. I think that's my first truly inaccurate one. I feel similar to other people. I think we all go through similar struggles and rhythms in life which peak and trough, and I have friends that I can confide in and do that with in life, so I don't feel that different. I don't feel like I'm alienated or isolated in any way. I like to analyse things from every angle. A 3 out of 5. I overthink things I analyse, but not all the time. I always have a plan for what I would do if things go wrong. Nah, 2 out of 5. I don't really spend that long thinking about it. I'll probably have a fleeting thought like, oh, what if this happened? And then I'll kind of move on. I won't dwell on it too much. I avoid situations that bring up negative feelings. Yeah, I would say that's a 4 out of 5. I don't purposely try and stir up negative feelings. Like if I can go a day or a week without feeling a negative emotion, great. But then, sometimes they happen. So I think I'm a 4 out of 5. I seek excitement. I'm going to put a 4 out of 5. If you listen to my 2021 intentions, which I think is the first episode of this podcast actually, I mentioned about how I'm really trying to seek out adventure this year and just kind of see excitement in the mundane, like day-to-day things, whether that's going to the shops or like, I don't know, popping to the park, whatever it is, or whatever we're currently able to do. So it's definitely a 4 out of 5. I think it would have been lower like last year or the year before. I was quite happy just staying in my little bubble, being in my flat, but this year we are seeking out excitement. I am good at seeing the bright side of things when others complain. Oh, I'm going to go 3 out of 5. What is it that there's a saying that misery loves company, and I think I'm that person. Like if I'm walking in on someone and they're complaining, or I'm having a conversation and they're complaining about something, I will quite happily and easily match their complaint with another complaint. Sorry guys, it happens. Sometimes you just love a good vent. I love a rant or a rant, whatever it's called. I love doing one of those. So I do complain, probably a little too much. Something I'm trying to readjust in my life, but yeah, 3 out of 5. I do not hesitate to call people out when they are behaving badly. Yeah, true. 4 out of 5, I would say. If it's a complete stranger and I'm like walking past them on the street, I probably wouldn't say anything. But if it's someone I knew, or like I was spending an adequate amount of time with, like if I was in a lecture and someone was doing something irritating or like behaving badly or talking over the lecturer, I would probably say like, can you cut it out? Like, it's just my personality. 4 out of 5. I go along with what other people want. No, I think that's inaccurate. I would go with a 2 out of 5. As much as I'm not decisive, I know what I don't want. So if I was with friends and they were like, oh, we're going to go get Thai food, and I knew I really didn't want Thai food, I wouldn't just nod along and eat Thai food. I'd be like, no, I'm not really feeling that. Can we try something else? So probably a 2 out of 5. People should follow the rules instead of doing what they feel like doing. Ugh. It's annoying, but I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5. I like a rule. And if there's rules implemented or in a certain place, then for the most part, I think people should follow along with them or comply. But I'm also in the headspace that everyone is their own person. Like if they disagree with it for whatever reason, or they have really strong beliefs or intentions that that's not what they're going to do and they're much happier doing it another way, I'm definitely there to support that, I think, for the most part. So props a 3 out of 5. I seek out relationships that offer me some type of protection. Ooh, relationships. Does that mean boyfriends? Like relationships, like love relationships, I'm assuming. No, I don't think so. I'd go inaccurate. Maybe 2 out of 5. Because I do appreciate feeling secure in a relationship or feeling like protected by someone. But I'm quite happy to stand on my own. So probably a 2 out of 5. I can clearly visualize what could happen in the future. Accurate. I do practice manifestation, whether it's intentionally or just me daydreaming very visually and detail oriented. But yeah, probably a 5 out of 5. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I like to imagine it. Average people often find me a bit weird. No, I'd go with a 3 out of 5. I'm sure I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I can be a bit quirky and a bit strange, but for the most part, I think I'm a pretty standard human. I like to do things as I've always done them. Oh, you know what? That's kind of true. I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5. Like, if I'm on Photoshop or something, I've only recently learned how to use Photoshop. Christian, my boyfriend, has been using Photoshop for years. He uses it every day in his job. Like, he's pretty much a pro. But if he comes up to me and goes, there's a shortcut for that, you can go, I'll cut him off and be like, no, I don't want to know. I do it my way. I'm fine doing it my way. I know how to do it my way. And I'm very stubborn in that sense. Again, probably a toxic trait we should be working on. But yeah, I do like to do things how I've always done them. I persist until a task is done. 3 out of 5. Depends what the task is. Sometimes I will. Like if it's for a job or something that really needs to get done. But if it's like, if I'm trying to install something in my computer and I don't have enough storage space or whatever, which has happened many a time to me, I'll probably most likely give up, to be honest. I spend time trying to discover and correct my faults and weaknesses. Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. I'd say a 4 out of 5 maybe. I definitely reflected a lot on 2020 and some things personality-wise and things that I was weak in and wanted to improve on, and I'm making what's the word? Oh my gosh, what's the word? Proactive, that's the word. Proactive steps in kind of correcting those or strengthening those, so I'd say that was accurate. I hold myself to very high standards. My God, that's true. I'm going to have a little water break because I'm drying up over here. Oh, so much better. Yes, I do hold myself to very high standards. Again, it will probably come up in the ambition episode, but I have had it instilled in me from a very young age that, I'm clever and I can achieve a lot, so I should achieve a lot and I should expect that of myself. And I think my parents would disagree with that statement and say that it was very personal that I put those high expectations on myself, which I think is true, but I think it's because I misinterpreted my camera just turned off, that's so annoying. Yeah, I think it's because I misinterpreted their teachings or lessons or things I thought they instilled in me. Like, for example, when I was at uni, I very nearly dropped out, but I didn't because I had this high expectation of myself to get a degree, but also that, my family wouldn't be okay with me dropping out of uni, which they totally were. So this pressure and expectation I had put on myself was all me, even though I thought it stemmed from them, which has happened quite frequently throughout my life, I feel like. So yeah, 5 out of 5. I do put very high standards on myself. Sometimes too much, and it gets very overwhelming and kind of draining and wears me down, but that's probably a conversation for another day. 5 out of 5, very high standards. I am a natural caretaker. I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5 because I am currently a nanny, and that's caretaking, I guess, in some form or aspect of it, like taking care of children. I absolutely love, would volunteer to do time and time again. Taking care of the elderly, I do think is kind of like a natural reaction for me as well. So yeah, I'd go with that, 4 out of 5. I want people to admire me. No, I don't think so. I think a 2 out of 5. Admire me. I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I don't want to have more expectations and standards put on me than I already put on myself. So as much as I think would like younger people maybe to look up to me or think I've done well, admiration is kind of like a tricky word for me. I want to achieve a lot in my life. Hell yes, 5 out of 5. If I am honest, I feel that I am a bit better than other people. Oh no. Guys, I think I'm a 4 out of 5. I don't know if you're supposed to be doing these tests publicly. That's shameful, isn't it? But it's true. And we are here to speak candidly. The freaking podcast's called To Be Candid. And to be candid, I do think sometimes I'm a bit better than other people. Which again, I don't know why I believe that, because it's probably not true. But I think, again, just the achievements in my life, the efforts I make, the kind of standards that I hold myself to. Let's move on. I'm feeling gross talking about this subject, but 4 out of 5, sorry guys. I feel a deep sense of grief for what I have lost. I'm going to put a 2 out of 5. I'm very, very lucky in the sense that I have not lost a lot. Like I lost my granddad when I was 2, I think, or 3, so I don't really remember that. I lost my cat when I was like a teenager, 13 maybe, and that hit me really hard, to be honest. But since then, touch wood, I haven't lost a lot. I've kind of achieved everything I want to achieve. All the people I love are still around me. There are definitely friendships and things that I've had to kind of say goodbye to, but I don't really grieve heavily over those because I know that I've benefited from taking those people out of my life. The only thing I feel like I have lost is over the last year when I was supposed to have my graduation and start my graduate role. I lost that, and I think I did grieve over that for a while, but I'm kind of in the mindset that everything happens for a reason, so I don't feel like a deep sense of grief, but it definitely twinges a little something inside me when I think about it for too long, but I'm pretty okay otherwise. I am an unusual sort of person. No, I'd put a 2 out of 5. I think I'm pretty typical. I take time to understand things more deeply than most people do. No, I think I'm a 3 out of 5. I'm sure I take more time than certain people, but I'm sure certain people take way more time than I do. Like, especially at uni, I was kind of like a bare minimum person. Like, I didn't go above and beyond to research certain things, so yeah, I'm going to go 3 out of 5. Don't know if that's right, but we're going with it. It's important to me to be prepared for an emergency. 2 out of 5. Not really. I distract myself from any sad feelings that arise. I don't think that's true. I think that's maybe a 2 out of 5 as well. I'm quite happy to feel my emotions, to acknowledge them and like move on. I don't kind of try and shove them down and ignore them. I often make changes in my life when things get boring. No, I don't think so. Maybe another 2 out of 5. Oh no, make changes in my life. Oh yeah, maybe a 3 out of 5. If it means changes in like my routine and my habit, then yes. But if it means changes as in like move country, no. I tend to be more optimistic than most people. I would agree. I'd go with a 4 out of 5. I think I'm becoming quite an optimistic person. And sometimes I'll hear someone say something like, oh no, because I'm not good enough, or oh no, it won't work out. And I'll be like, you shouldn't think like that. Like, speak kindly to yourself. Do this, do that. You're going to be great. It's going to work. Whatever. I tell people what I think, even if it's hard to hear. Ooh, maybe. I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5. I think that's very circumstantial. But for the most part, I do like being open and honest with people. So I think it does happen a lot. But if I think it's going to be really hard for that person to hear and it's not going to benefit them in any way, like, I'll probably keep it to myself. Oh, I would rather follow the group than push for what I want. I'm going to go 2 out of 5. I think we spoke about this before, but I'm not one to kind of go along with the herd if I know it doesn't align with who I want to be or what I want to be doing. I feel most comfortable in organisations with a clear hierarchy. I think that's true. I think 4 out of 5. I think, again, it goes with the same rules. Like, I know where I stand in a hierarchy within an organisation, and I think I appreciate that kind of clarity. I take measures to protect myself and my loved ones from harm. Yeah? 3 out of 5? I don't know what measures they mean. Do they mean, like, locking the front door and, like, looking both ways before you cross the street? Oh, I'm overthinking this, guys. It's getting a bit much. I make plans for many years into the future. True, 4 out of 5. Again, trying to change it, but it still happens. I am an unusually unique person. No, 2 out of 5. Unusually unique. No, maybe even inaccurate. I'm unique as an individual, but I'm not unusually unique. There's nothing crazy about me. I dislike trying new methods or procedures. A 3 out of 5. I like changing things up, but if I know how to do it, I'll kind of stick with my way. I focus on my responsibilities and duties. True, 4 out of 5. I read books that help me be more productive or better at what I do. True, 4 out of 5. I'm definitely getting more into the kind of non-fiction self-help books, and I really enjoy them. I think it's just nice to be able to spend that amount of time like reflecting and kind of making an action plan to like better yourself or be more productive. So yeah, definitely a 4 out of 5. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things right. Yes, I do. I think a 4 out of 5. I'm quite happy to make mistakes. I acknowledge the mistakes I make, but if I can do it right, I'd obviously prefer to do it right. I take the initiative to help other people and make their lives easier. Yeah, 4 out of 5, I would say. I'm quite happy to like spot out something that's like, oh, you could do this instead. Even though if someone said that to me, I'd be like, I like doing it my way. But I do like to try and make people's lives easier. I put in the effort to make a good impression on other people. True. 5 out of 5. I always think my first impression has to be like amazing and the person has to like me straight away. So yeah, 5 out of 5. I set ambitious goals for myself. A 4 out of 5, I think. Last year definitely would have been a 5 out of 5. But I think, oh gosh, my voice. I think this year I've kind of set more realistic goals for myself and I'm trying to put less pressure on myself, so I'm probably now a 4 out of 5. I am an important member of my social groups. I think I'm a 4 out of 5 for that one too. I think we already discussed that one. Oh gosh, 5 out of 6, guys, 5 out of 6. I can describe my emotions in a lot of depth and detail. True, 4 out of 5. I often feel like an outsider. Inaccurate. I'm going to put a 2 out of 5. There's definitely been scenarios where I felt like an outsider, but for the most part, I feel like an insider. I find my mind to be a very interesting place. Yeah, I do. I sometimes question how my brain works and like why I overthink certain things or what have you. So yeah, I do think it's an interesting place. I am always aware of what can go wrong in a situation. Nah, 2 out of 5. I have many ways of avoiding situations that get me down. 3 out of 5. I am always up for a new adventure. I think I'm a 3 out of 5. I did mention that I want to be doing more adventures, but I think that's kind of a slow process. I wouldn't say that I'm always up for a new adventure at the moment, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. I believe that things usually work out for the best. 4 out of 5. I stand up for what I believe, even if it upsets other people. 3, 4. I think 4 out of 5. I kind of have a very what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, my brain. I have a very strong, set of morals, and I stand by them quite religiously, I guess, or quite stubbornly, or I'm just very dedicated to the set of morals I have, so I do stand up for what I believe in. I let other people take the lead. I think I'm 2 out of 5. I feel this is going to be cheesy, but I do feel in some aspects I am kind of like a natural born leader in the sense like I do speak my mind and I do kind of think things through and kind of analyse different ways to do something and lead people, and I'm a bit of a caretaker and all these things, so I do... I let other people take the lead. 2 out of 5. I dislike people who disrupt things by breaking the rules. I'm a 2 out of 5. Do what you want, guys, just don't harm anyone. I make alliances with people who can help me stay safe and secure. 2 out of 5? I mean, maybe, but if I do it subconsciously. I am often looking ahead towards what's coming next. 5 out of 5, hugely accurate. I have different interests than most people. 2 out of 5, I would say. I think I'm pretty standard in my interests. The traditional way of doing things is the best way. I kind of disagree with that. 2 out of 5. I am a responsible and reliable person. Would agree. 5 out of 5. I feel like I'm always like the mother hen of the group. And as sad as it is, I think some of my friends would describe me as like responsible, which is kind of boring, but also kind of true. I have a lot of plans for myself I have a lot of plans for how I can improve myself. 4 out of 5? I think that's true. I make sure that even small details are correct. Yeah, I think that's a 4 out of 5. I do like getting things right and making sure everything's lined up nicely. I enjoy caring for others and their needs. I think I'm a 3 out of 5. I think I do it, but it's more of just like a knee-jerk reaction to care for people and kind of make sure everyone's okay. I'm not sure I necessarily enjoy it. Like I wouldn't have a job where I was like a carer or anything, so I think I'm a 3 out of 5. I want to be a person that others can look up to. I do agree with that one. The admiration thing had me thrown off. I'm going to put a 4 out of 5 for that one, because I do want people to feel as though they can look up to me and that I've like set a good example. I push myself to succeed. Hell yes, 5 out of 5. I make important contributions to my community. I think I'm a 3 out of 5. I don't do anything to disadvantage my community, and I would kind of take part in community projects and things, but I'm not like consciously going about like making contributions to my community, I guess. I rarely have strong emotions. I think that's a 2 out of 5. I definitely feel strong emotions. I feel I never truly belong in social groups. I think that's inaccurate. Like, I put a 1 out of 5 for that one, by the way. I want to learn as much as I can about how the world works. A 3 out of 5? A 4 out of 5? I think a 3 out of 5. I am interested in how the world works, but I don't think I want to learn as much as I can. It's not something I'm like proactively doing, I don't think. It's important for me to understand what can go wrong in a situation. Not really. I take steps to ensure I don't feel sad or lonely. Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. Who wants to feel sad and lonely? Trying new things keeps life interesting. I'd agree. 4 out of 5 for that one. No, 5 out of 5 for that one. Not like I try new things every day, but if I can like go to a new restaurant or, I don't know, try a new hobby or whatever, like why not give it a go? I am an upbeat person. I think a 4 out of 5. I definitely have my days where I'm the opposite of an upbeat person, but somewhat of an upbeat person the majority of the time. I am usually the one to take a stand when others won't. I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5, I think. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that would take a stand too, or would join me in taking a stand. Other people have stronger opinions than I do. I would agree. I have strong opinions, but I think other people have stronger opinions. You know, there's very extreme opinions out there. Everyone has a role to play in society and a duty to do their best. Yeah, a 4 out of 5. I think you owe it to yourself to do your best, not necessarily like to society. I am concerned with protecting what I have. I think that's true, you know. I'm going to put a 4 out of 5. I am quite conscious of like, I don't know, like squirreling money away and like protecting my belongings and insurance and stuff like that. I have a good sense of what my future holds. Does anyone? I'm actually going to put a 4 out of 5 because I think for the most part I do, but you can never be 100% sure. I am an average person with ordinary likes and dislikes. Yeah, I'd agree with that. A 4 out of 5. Some of my likes and dislikes are strange, like I don't like bacon. Putting it out there, speaking candidly, and I'm sure a lot of people would have a lot to say about that, but I'm not a fan of the bacon, sorry. I try new ways of doing things just to see if they will work. Disagree. 2 out of 5. I have a great deal of willpower. Disagree. Guys, do not put me near chocolate. I have 0 willpower. 2 out of 5. Self-improvement is a major interest of mine. I think that's true. I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5 for that one. Get my results. It's coming. My camera is going to die at any stage, and I'm saying camera because I'm also recording this to put on my YouTube channel, but my light is flashing. My enneagram scores. Your primary type is 3. What does that mean? Okay, so 3s are defined by their desire to achieve. I think that was a theme going on, wasn't it? They want to advance in the world and will sacrifice almost anything for success, vigorously pursuing tasks and becoming utterly absorbed in the pursuit of attainment. But they will only choose a task in the first place if it promises rewards and brings out prestige. I think that's kind of true. 3s like to stand out. They have a burning need to be admired and see life as a game where winning is emphasised. To a certain degree, I suppose. At their core, 3s are enormously adaptable. They are adept at aligning themselves with the people and projects that matter, and this predestines them to become ideal leaders and employees for any organisation. My camera just died. 3s are competent and hardworking. They get a lot done and they make it look easy, even as they are expending considerable effort. On the flip side, their interest in authenticity is low. Ooh. Putting on the right public face and maintaining a successful image are more important to 3s than developing good relationships and listening to their own genuine feelings. Ooh, not sure how I feel about that. What 3s are selling, the rest of us are buying, and they certainly know how to wear a mask and make a good impression. Ooh, that's scary. What was my next highest match? Okay, so my next highest match was an 8. which is known as the challenger. They see themselves as strong and powerful and seek to stand up for what they believe in, which I think we talked about too. And then my third highest match was, I think it was a 7. Yeah, which is the enthusiast. 7s want to have as much fun and adventure as possible, and they are easily bored, which may be true. My mum would say that's true. Every time I go home, she's like, why are you always saying you're bored? Because I do get kind of tired of certain things. My lowest match is a 6. Type 6 is known as the skeptic. 6s are preoccupied with security, seek safety, and like to be prepared for problems. I think that's true. A lot of those ones I was like not agreeing with. Wow, I'm a 3, guys. The overview of a 3 says, type 3 is known as the achiever. 3s want to be successful and admired by other people, and they are very conscious of their public image, which is really interesting to me, because I guess in some aspects I would be, right, doing this as a hobby or whatever, like making YouTube videos and Instagram and podcasts. Like, I guess I am in some sense conscious of my public image and what I'm putting across, and I do freaking like to be successful, don't I? But the admired by other people makes me feel a bit iffy, like a little bit squirmy, so I'm not sure how that one sits with me. But there you go, I am a 3. I hope you learn a lot about me from this experience. This has been a long podcast, guys, a long episode. Thanks for sticking with me if you're still here. And I'm sure you guys were answering along with me. I'd love to hear any of your thoughts, feelings and emotions about the Enneagram, or what type you are. If you know, like, go ahead and Instagram me. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram. Maybe I'll put up some like stories and things that you guys can respond to, because that would be super interesting. But yeah, I think I kind of agree. I'm happy with being a 3. I can see that, but definitely a good one to do with like friends and stuff. Super fun, and just a little something different for today's episode. But I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and leave me a review, because that would mean so much to me. I love to see what you guys have to say, and obviously it helps other people find the podcast too, which would be so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Sorry if it was a bit long, but I hope it's kept you company on your commute, on your run, whatever you're doing. I'm glad I could be there with you having a little chat, but I will be back next Tuesday with a brand new episode, so hopefully I will speak to you then. Bye.